So this one is a doozy. It's a very long story. So the TLDR is... No, I'm kidding.
No,
So...
read it.
Read the post!
Kidding. Alright, so the title is DM turns a throwaway comment into the greatest reveal I've ever done seen by user Dorsus? Amogus Dorsus. Okay, so it says apologies in advance for the length of this one. It's okay, Dorsus. A small bit of backstory. A few years ago, my brother played in a few RPGs and decided he wanted to give DMing a game himself go. Unfortunately, he had trouble with a lot of systems. Complex rules don't really fit with him personally, and while they can work with them as a player, as a DM it's another story. The fix was creating his own simplified system. As a sci-fi fan, he took the opportunity to make his own Star Trek style setting. After a lot of trial and error, admittedly several players coming and going, he settled on two groups, one much larger than the other. We have crossovers and feel each other's actions in our respective sessions. I am part of the smaller group, used to be bigger but due to life, commitments, etc. It has shrunk down to just 2 players recently.
Aww.
Yeah, rings too true.
Yeah.
This works for us, as we can't make the same sessions as the main group, but still enjoy being part of the game universe. We've had some insane plot twists, arcs, and NPCs over the years, culminating in the most recent story. A few months back, whatever, we were introduced to a new quest giver, a suave businessman and an all-around charming guy called Alistair, who wanted to contract our ship for a series of jobs. We immediately didn't trust him, but after a while found ourselves taking side missions and developed a working relationship. Honestly, he won us over. Eventually, he told us he wanted to work for him full-time, leaving the faction we worked for and all of our all-time favorite NPCs.
Aww.
We declined, of course, but he was persistent, pulling out all the stops to convince us, favors, gifts, and even paying for a full retrofit of our ship. Still not enough.
Oh,
That was
Jesus.
until 2 things happened. The first was our NPC co-pilot leaving the party at the culmination of his personal quest.
Aw.
The second was our aforementioned favorite NPC getting sick, real sick. This guy was some sort of a telepathic super being. It's a long story, but essentially every character has a multiverse evil counterparts, but this guy doesn't, he's unique.
Ah, he's like America Chavez. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Who? But yes.
I was thinking mirror dimension because Star Trek, but yes, go on.
Oh shit, yeah. We did what we could to find the source of his illness, and imagine our shock when we discovered that it can be traced back to his multiverse counterpart. Noticing some similarities between the two, we began to suspect Alistair is this counterpart.
Ooh.
Oh. We finally agreed to switch sides, secretly planning between us to use our insider knowledge to figure out what was going on. On our most recent mission, we were tasked to visit a high-security prison facility due to a tip-off that one of the prisoners was going to escape. Pretty much our entire rogues gallery is here.
Hey!
It's the title! It's the title!
Imagine my face when I read
Roll
this.
the credits.
And we learned this place is still recovering from a visit of the other PC group. Because, of course, something immediately seems off. Just hearing who we are working for sends shivers through our old enemies, and no amount of persuasion will get them to reveal why. The warden, of course, is adamant the place is impenetrable and leads us to the prisoner. This guy has a standard villainous fare, right down to his name being the Annihilator. He swears he has no plans for a breakout, etc, etc. So now, of course, cue the breakout. Power fluctuates, things go wrong, we rush to the cell, and he's dead, along with his guard. Dun dun dun. Who
It's
done
like
it?
that time where like the thunder will flash, lightning will flash at the
Yeah.
back, and like, who did it? Dun, dun, dun.
The lights turn on,
Orchestral
there's-
piano plays. Na na na.
There is one imposter among us. And we go searching for whoever did this to no avail. We inspect the corpse and find signs we've seen before. A strange goo-like substance that appears in this RPG sci-fi undead. He attacks us, of course. Being RPG players, we decide to blow up half the corridor to put him down. Still doesn't work.
Relate that.
Fire,
Okay.
fireball. Fireball, yes.
Bit of an overreaction, but whatever. Still doesn't work. Scanners are still reading an undead. We tried to get our ship AI to specify, but he has been acting weird lately, something we have chalked up to character development. We do everything we can to figure this out, checking CCTV and personnel files. Turns out there's an extra guard on the premise, but not in the records. Alistair calls and we update him, tell him what happened and we are fine. He decides to send backup. The backup is an assassin we've killed before, an assassin now reanimated for a second time. Red flags are obviously glaring, but he convinced us that he's on our side. We watch him carefully.
Maybe he's like, Ami Maloa, like a powerful lich or something. Like,
Sci-fi lich.
Okay, anyway, continue.
So thanks, Albert. Very cool. We find the guard, also undead, and the other PC kills him. Sensing his movement, the assassin tries to attack us and mysteriously drops dead. God damn it. The warden thanks us, but his searches have revealed even more disturbing things. First, one of our worst villains has escaped, leaving a duplicate behind in his cell.
Oh my god.
Second, the Annihilator doesn't add up. He's been in prison for a while, but he has no records of his transfer or capture. It's as if he simply appeared from nowhere. Dun, dun, dun. We decide to confront Alistair, but first we call our favorite NPC. He is not doing so well, and on a whim I decide to tell a lie. My plan being that if Alistair is somehow listening in, he will pick up on it. Alistair calls immediately, feeding us lines about his information being bad, not knowing our history within the assassin, blah blah blah. Then, I bring up the topic I lied about. He simply says, "If you want to tell me something, you can always say it to my face." I panic, other PCs start asking what's wrong. I scan the ship for bugs and they show none. What they do show is the ship's AI has a virus. Alistair has control of everything, he knows everything, right down to the plans we've been discussing right here on this ship. The retrofit was just a cover to replace our AI, back before we even suspected he was up to something. Every mission we have done for him, even before our favorite NPC got sick, was to increase his power and hold over us.
Damn.
We were playing checkers and this guy was playing 4D chess.
Wait, so what?
That's a good analogy.
Wait, he bugged the thing to like know every move of the party, basically?
He replaced the AI.
Yeah,
He did a
replaced the AI with
retrofit.
ship.
Retrofit
I don't know
meaning,
what that means.
yeah, retrofit is basically an entire rework of a ship or like
Yeah.
a vehicle.
And you
So
know,
it's changing,
And everything.
changing the entire systems basically. Like
okay,
a
I know.
dry dock.
In a sci-fi setting,
Okay.
usually there is an AI that controls a ship because it's too
Yeah.
complex for one human to handle.
Uh-huh.
Usually the NPC will, be friends with the AI because he's pretty nice and everything. But in this case, the Alistair then replaced that AI with a fake one that is working for him.
This
Now
is
you
some.
get the implication?
Okay.
Yeah. So now everything they do on the ship, the AI knows. The fake AI knows. And what the fake AI knows, he relays to Alistair.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Damn.
Go on.
Okay.
That's why they
Almost
say their AI has like character development. They chalk it up.
Yeah, they
Character
say they
development.
chuck. Yeah, but it's just a different AI entirely.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
As we struggle to damage control the situation, a second ship arrives and our co-pilot, the guy who's been missing since all of this began, walks on board. We missed a call from him a while back and have been trying to contact him ever since, but none of our calls have gotten through and we couldn't understand why, and now we know. The session ended up on this cliffhanger, but suffice to say, he's been trying to warn us the entire time that about our AI, and was kept in the dark.
Oh.
There's a lot more to this than I can ever fit in a post as long as this one, but months of planning, foreshadowing, and weaving of stories have gone into this reveal. And the best part, it turns out he did all of this based on a single conversation I had completely forgotten about over 6 months ago. He remembered me talking about how much I loved a suave master planner who was always one step ahead.
Oh my
He wrote it down and
god.
created Alistair Drake, which is such a
Yeah.
villainous name.
Yeah, Alistair Drake. Alistair is already very fancy. Imagine Drake. Oh god. That sounds like a very hot villain.
You would think that?
Yeah.
But I imagine the way he was described, he was probably like an alien that is somewhat over bloated. Short.
Oh, okay, very different. I'm imagining like Artyom basically.
Hey, whoa,
Whoa,
hey.
why are you implying there, bro?
Don't bring my very nice and polite PC into this.
Appearance, I mean, appearance.
I've been just imagining the fucking Luther man from Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, that too.
Ooh.
That's my way of seeing it. But yeah, that's the story.
That's a pretty cool one. I actually forgot to comment or anything because I was just like, what's
Yeah.
next? What's next?
That's how you tell a story. That's how you get
Yeah.
people invested.
It's a good. It's goodly written as well. Well written. There you go.
Well
well,
written.
you can say. Yeah.
English, everyone, we know it.
I do love stories that are like very long in the making, especially if there's like clues leading all the way back
and
or something.
it pays off, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
man, I read all that for this. Oh, satisfaction.
For obvious comparison, Rain in our
Yeah.
campaign, Arc 12,
Mhm.
how long have you been setting up the whole false Hydra thing?
Ooh.
Very first session.
From the very okay, so what happened was in our campaign, well, we were a group of 7 people who came together to find like the Holy Grail. So, but to get to the Holy Grail, you need a key. However, nobody has ever found the key for like forever, but we somehow got it, and it's in the shape of a dice that is 12-sided, made from like a piece of us basically. However, we're only 7, but the dice is 12-sided, and when we find other people who have keys, they're all from it's it's made up from exactly that number. Like, let's say there were 2
many
people.
in your party.
Yeah. If there's 2 people, it's a coin. If there's 6 people, it's a d6. You know, but ours, we are 7. We started out 7, but we had 12. And the whole time, there was like this mystery of like 12. Wait, there's always. But we've only started at 7. This doesn't make sense, you know? And then cut to almost 100 sessions later, we found out that it was actually a false Hydra doing this all along, and we were actually 12. We were
For
actually
reference,
12.
for those who don't know, a false Hydra is a monster that eats people, and when you get
Ooh.
eaten by the false Hydra, everybody forgets about you.
Here, let's show you what's a false Hydra.
Oh.
Because I
every
will
time.
not be the only one traumatized by it. The first time I see it, I
For
was
the main monitor
traumatized.
gang, be careful. What you're looking at now, it's a little scary.
It is actually pretty scary.
Look at
Clarification, I am not
At the
in part of
bottom,
this
the bottom one, the
campaign
bottom.
as well.
Scroll bottom a little bit. The one that's just one face. Where is it?
Oh,
I think
this
it's so past
one.
it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate this one. This is the
Yes.
revelation. It's the worst thing. I can't even see it right now. No, I'm not gonna subject our viewers to that. It's the
Who
worst
added
episode.
Very nice.
Nobody's gonna come back.
For clarification, I am not part of this campaign, and I'm also terrified now. What the fuck?
This thing has traumatized most of us. Like, some of us are having like nightmares because of this thing. So it's
And I
awful.
killed it.
Shut up. We all did. The funny thing is, like, we built a rocket that cost us 50,000 and dealt 134 damage to this thing. But when we, like, 4 people just, you know, delayed our attack to hit at the same time, did exactly the same damage as the 50,000 rocket. And that's like, to be fair, we're level 50. But still.
And the rocket cannot be, mind controlled, so there's that.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
Holy Jesus, I don't know what's happening.
It was from the beginning because I do want to have a rival at some point. And there are other dice, but like I think like 6 is a good enough number for a rival, so I thought a D6 would be perfect. Then I realized they have a D12. I wonder how we can spin this. And that's where it started. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that twist, and then oh, by the way, spoilers for the Arc of the 12 campaign.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
haven't watched from the beginning.
No,
It's
sometimes,
been
sometimes, you know, spoilers make people want to watch things.
Fair, but we
That's
should
true.
say spoiler part before everything.
Wait.
We'll add it in
One-
post.
one-
We'll add it in post. Spoilers. Spoilers.
We'll do it in post.
Did we forget to mention this is a 2-year anniversary of that campaign?
Yeah, there you go.
you.
That's a good point to end on because it has been longer than I planned it to be, but you know, it's still within the time limit. Yes, Chris.
Yeah.
There is a challenge to all the viewers.
Oh.
Rewatch everything about the Ark of the 12 from the episode 1 and try to
Jesus.
find every instance of Rain foreshadowing there being 12 people.
Oh my god, and clip
Whoever
it.
sends the most instances and clips will become my new best friend.
Will become
Albert.
our new moderator, basically.
Hey, let's go.
Even I can do that. I'm like the show's biggest fan. Not Crit, it's me. Thank you.
I never assumed I was. I'm like,
Sure.
whatever, okay?
Why not? Take it away.